Okay, welcome back everyone. This is Erik Malkavian, and I am among the pillars of eternity. I'm at my home in Cadenua, in the Deerwood. So let's continue. Okay. Our good folks are all back here, including myself.
As you wish.
Let's speed it up. Actually, you know what? We've got a head. Um, Korgrok's head. Head of Ogre Korgrok. The one-time scourge of Deerford. The immense trophy head liquid follows in a trail everywhere it's carried. It smells overwhelming. Let me run over and see my warden. Actually, we'll stop in the chapel. I guess I was supposed to give that head to someone in Deerford.
Hail, traveler.
Yes, let me see what you have. Namely, scrolls. I'll take that. I'll take one of those. And I'll trade you all this other stuff. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out where that head goes. Why do I? Huh? So I need to get this my sword forged. Skill spit to forge a weapon before I can wield it. I've forgotten. Oh man, I gotta do that. Still gotta finish that. I don't know. I don't know. Hello, friend.
I trust all is well. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
The state of the keep? Ah, where to begin? Let's see here. Okay, Ringfinger. Nidhen was a Glenfathian murderer who was notorious for both his brutality and his ability to avoid capture by the tribe's best hunters. When he was finally captured and put to death, his body was buried in a secret place near Silaban Rilag. Ariel had given the unusual recommendation in the hopes that the engulfing wounds would capture the killer's soul and prevent it from returning to the wheel. During a recent cleansing celebration, an Orlan child stumbled across Nidhen's grave. Not realizing what she had found, she told her parents, who guessed what it was, in turn told other members of the tribe. Within a day, Nidhen's burial site had been plundered by a foolhardy Glenfathian's body carried away for ritual purposes. All that remained was a ring finger from his right hand. The Amvatha opposed use of Nidhen's body for preparing sacred objects, reward anyone who can return it to them. The hunt for Nidhen's remains proved a difficult one as the Glenfathians lied incessantly to cover for those who were responsible. And Orlan Brixwall helped Sagini sort the truth out, eventually recovering every part of the dead murderer's body. Though the Glenfathians were more than willing to lie about what they had done, none of them turned violent when Sagani and Brisquall confronted them. And they in fact ordered the Brisquall to bury the body in a new location that was less traveled than the past near Salaban Rilag. Upon returning to Cadenua, Sagani realized that the Amphath had never asked for Nidhen's ring finger to be returned. Oh, that's interesting. Grants mind lasts once per rest, plus 3 constitution. Yikes. Tied to a simple leather cord, his finger once belonged to a notorious Glenfathian murderer. Locals exhumed his body to create sacred objects, but you assisted a Glenfathian Amphatha in recovering it, despite insisting that the body be buried in a new secret location. Amphatha never asked you to return the finger that had been found at the killer's original grave, so I guess she wanted to spread it our lands. Alright, well, that's pretty wild. Yeah. Alright, you got some money? Alright, let's go down the dungeon. I told that guy to let him out. He's been down there a pretty good long time. Alright. How's it going? Hey, don't leave me in here by that animal. I'm gonna let you know. You never getting out. How's it going? You have a monstrous appetite for inflicting pain. I recognize the affliction you see. Well, why wasn't that door locked? What's going down? Please, I can't take it anymore. Alright, I'm gonna let this guy out.
Hail and well met.
Greetings, my lord. Come to visit the dungeon? Yes. You have any instructions for me? What do you want done with these prisoners? I want to let one of them go. Yeah, you can release a ILF. Right away, my lord. Alright, so he's gone wherever he's going. Yep. And I'll probably let him out. Ow. He's part of the Lead and Key conspiracy, but I don't know. He might. I don't know. That may not be such a good idea to let him out. Anybody else locked up in there? I don't think so. Thanks, Pellegrini. Check the treasury. Yikes. Oh, certainly have a... This unlucky hammer chime! Oh, man. Oh, that thing is marvelous. Oh, and here's the finger. Okay. I didn't realize it'd be in here. Holy crud. I have so much stuff. I need to store some of this. I'll be back. Well, Devil. Back marbles of her eyes scrape against her socket. She looks at you. Galvino said you murdered several people before he transferred you.
Effigy's eyes, that man loved to talk.
Tell me why you killed those people.
If it's sane and logical reasoning you're wanting, you're gonna be disappointed. Ain't no sense in any of it.
I've heard parts of your story from others. Something drove you to kill those people. It obviously matters.
Mayhap you've heard of Coldmoor. Was a quiet, forgettable patch of the woods. Till a pack of rabid clodhoppers set it afire.
The finger of one hand twitched and clicked against one another in a pair of sudden spastic motions. I see.
Well, that was the start of the purges. Dear Woodens killing their own.
Son of a gun. So you're angry. I understand. Sudden bursts of heat flares from scenes as their essence surges in burrow oils. Okay, I understand.
A farmer on the other side of the mountains woke up one day with his head all aflame and took it for the gibbering speech of his god.
Oh no.
And so did a few thousand of his countrymen. So when he tired of Vorlus fields and marched west, a horde of armed Hicks followed.
Boy, that was St. Wadwin.
St. Widwin and his blazing crusade celebrated his coup in Raid Saris by invading the Deerwood. Most of his forces headed north to Haldat Citadel, but a lucky few thousand ventured through the mountains. Through Cold Morn, we let him pass.
Oh, I've heard that story. Yes. Okay, I understand.
You were from Cold Morn? When I heard what happened out there after the war, I couldn't believe my ears.
Fine line between couldn't and wouldn't.
They couldn't stop him. She said a few thousand. Guess you didn't have much choice.
Try telling a few hundred crazed Deerwoodans.
I know. I know. Believe me, I understand.
We got news of the Raid Sarans coming through the mountains. Begged the Duke for help, we did.
Yep.
Didn't send us so much as a bare-ass novitiate. They went to towns with full coffers and lofty connections.
She crosses her arms over a plated chest. Okay.
So we let Widewin soldiers pass. Left him for the Duke to wrangle on his own terms.
You hear a soft clank as she flicks her wrist. Okay. So Cold Morn was purged in retaliation.
Was after the Godhammer made a fine grit out of Widewin, when Deerwoodans were running on rage and looking for something to burn.
Cat's glimmers and glints at her seams as razor-thin wires pulled tight within her body. Okay.
They came at dark, hundreds of folk. Every one of them mourning someone lost in the war.
Jar chuckled, ticks in her throat.
Must have decided it was our duty to escort their dead back to the wheel.
I see.
They didn't light their torches till they had us surrounded. Time we saw them, there was a ring of fire closing around us.
She pauses and a mechanism in the back of her skull clicks dully.
I woke. Ran to the window. Whole village were a maze of flames. Couldn't see nothing for the smoke. And the screams.
Thumb spasm. This strange rhythmic beat.
Most ran for the streets. Got caught by the mob.
Right.
Others hid, let their houses burn down around them.
So sorry. That is terrible.
You're the only person in the Deerwood who thinks so. Me, I'm surprised the Duke didn't make our massacre a festival day.
Well, I'm different. What did you do to survive?
Ran, fought, hid, burned. Same as my neighbors and family. Just luckier.
Okay, so what does that have to do with your crimes?
Hunting down the men and women what took part. Thought that much was clear.
But you only killed people who attacked Coldmorn, right?
Sure.
Oh no.
You want me to tell you straight?
Yeah.
I found the men and women what destroyed my village, and I burned their houses down around them.
Okay.
Sometimes they was alone, and sometimes they wasn't.
You couldn't have hoped to get them all.
Well, we just gotta do our best with what time the gods give us, don't we?
And what exactly did you hope to accomplish?
It were a mob that destroyed our village, but it was just one man that burned my family's house.
Okay.
Kept hoping I'd get to him as I was working my way through the rest of those maggots. No matter now, I suppose.
Saw rattles out of her bronze skull, fluorescent whips and twitches, as restless as a cat's tail. What was your life like before the Saints' War?
There weren't much to say about it. By my reckoning, that means it was pretty good.
Right.
Ma was a trapper, taught me to set snares and dress game. Dad was a tinker. I never had his patience, but it were fun to watch him work. My brothers and sister, they was good folk too. Part of me's glad they ain't here to see me now.
Her face is blank as ever, but her essence ebbs and rises. She turns away. You and Galvino had an unusual relationship.
Only kind to have with someone like him. Or me.
Oh no. Let's start there. How long have you known each other?
Around about 13 years. Too long, you ask me.
So it's 2 years after the Saints' War. Too long, you ask me. So you resent him?
No other way to feel about the man who flayed my living soul.
Metal squeal as she shifts her folded arm. I'm not gonna say that. He obviously didn't make... He claimed he made you.
He'd spread butter on bread and claim he made something. Never been accused of modesty, that man.
Right.
He managed to stuff my soul into this heap of bronze, true enough. Maybe that makes him a genius. Also makes him a son of a bitch.
What exactly did you do for him? She regards you for several seconds. She shrugs.
Looked after his tools, cleaned the workshop, swung the sledgehammer. Oh, and snatched up travelers for his soul tinkering.
What? You mean those other golems?
But don't you worry. They were all bad folk.
They were all bad folk. They were all bad folk. That's terrible. I don't give a shit.
Maybe so, but I got a feeling you didn't bring me along for my charming personality.
Okay. I brought you along because I thought there might be a chance of redemption. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I've had enough of him too.
Chops her arms, relaxing her posture. Okay. And why do you want to come with me?
Stalwart's great this time of year. Beareth spells in bloom for a good 5 days, and the mountain squall actually blows the fish stench away from town.
She turns away, clacking the fingers of one hand against her palm. That's not the reason why. The man that burnt your village is there. Just tell me the truth.
Better than staying at Galvino's, anyway.
That's not the truth. Alof arches an eyebrow. Come on, Alof, tell it. And leans close. I lived with secrets long enough to know when someone's hiding something. Thank you. You and I always see alike. Black marbles of her eyes scrape against their sockets as she looks at you. I get the feeling that you're not welcome in Stalwart. Tell me.
I got a reputation. People in these little villages ain't the most open-minded.
Did you murder someone there?
Not yet.
Right. You answered pretty quickly. Something you're not telling me. But, right. I'm supposed to believe you came to Star Wars 13 years ago for the scenery. I know you didn't. Just tell me the damn truth.
Believe what you want. I killed a lot of folk, but none of them was in Stalwart.
You answered me pretty quickly. Something you're not telling me?
Plenty, but nothing you need to know.
I'm gonna tell you one thing when I can't tell her this. But you're lying to me, for one thing. You're here to kill the man that destroyed your home. He's there in Stalwart. Now, I'm going to find out. And if I find out you're using me just to get here, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to kill you. That's all. The one that got away. She hasn't killed anyone. She's after someone. You lied to me one more time. Why do you want to come with me?
To a frozen middle of nowhere town filled with moody yokels? Guess it reminds me of home.
Oh, I got her got right and good that time. You did. Thank you, dear. Yeah, about Durgan's battery.
Just because I'm made of metal don't mean I got any special fondness for smiths and forges.
She flicks the bronze of her forearm, producing a dissonant ring. Do you remember any of the other expeditions that came to Galvino?
Nothing specific. Everyone looks about the same when they got their fingers up their noses.
Pauses thoughtfully. Then her head snaps forward in a tiny, quick movement of realization.
Only the last group, one before you, there was something different about them.
3 of her fingers clench in spasm.
Couldn't put my finger on it, but they was dangerous. Almost felt the hair on the back of my neck.
She runs her hand along the smooth, segmented bronze of her hair.
Ain't felt that way about anyone else walking through Galvino's door, that's for sure.
Know anything about it?
No more than what Galvino already told you. Murder, tracking, and the best materials for kindling. Those are more my area of expertise.
Best materials for kindling. We'll see how this goes. I can tell you she's irritating me already. For one, she thinks she's a... I'm going to take her to Stalwart. 'Cause I said I would. Seeing her, if she starts acting a fool, she is so out of here. She's like so out of here. She even acts a little bit like a fool. She is out of here. Now, granted, Dern started off as a fool. And he came around, but she seems rather unrepentant. And, I think the best thing for her is return to the wheel. She needs to think about it. 'Cause whew, boy. Alright. I'll see you soon, dear.
I will wait in the place of your strength.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it. Let's go.
Miss this place. Had that much right.
Come over here.
Village was a touch livelier when I saw it last. Ain't saying much, though.
Going through rough times.
Rough times is the only kind they got up here.
Why do you want to come back anyway? Again? Tell me another lie. I swear to...
Anything's better than Galvino's workshop. You ain't heard the old buzzard sing.
Yeah, you're lying.
Anyway, what about you? We seen lots coming through, trying to crack the battery, but no watchers.
Changing the subject. Anyway. Stalwart needed my help.
The do-gooder of the Deerwood. You're a rare breed these days. But don't let me keep you from the sights and sounds of Stalwart. They're easy to miss.
Yeah, I want to ask you something else, I guess. Yeah. Whatever. I'm to the point where I don't even... Never mind. Because I would be saying that out loud, and that would be kind of mean. Alright. Alright, let's see. I don't even know what the hell to say about this, you know? Advanced construct. Living machine. Can't use food, drinks, or drugs. Blinding strike. Death blows. What the hell? Finishing blows. Living machine. Sap. Reckless assault. She got second wind, sneak attack, and withering strike. $13 might, 16 perception. It's really accurate. Can't move very well. It's understandable. She's really pushing my goodwill, man. She really does. What the hell is this? Let's see here. So, let me see what she's good with. Weapon focus. Weapon focus, peasant. Spear, quarterstaff, hunting bow. Hunting bow. Okay. I'll be right back. It's just really irritating me, man. Alright. Fuck it. We're gonna go see the mayor. If she flips out, you're out of here. Alright. Hello?
I take it you've met Galvino.
Yes. Glance at the Devil of Caroc, her eyes narrowing. Okay. Right.
The Pargrin dwarves guarded it like a mother bear. It's a wonder we know as much as we do.
Alright. We already talked about this.
What's on your mind?
I'm not gonna do that yet.
Something else you need?
What do you do here?
I'm a carpenter. Mother's a builder. So it felt like a good fit at the time.
Right.
Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade.
Alright. Good Lord. Keep an eye on town. Have you found anything? Remind me at the thorough peril. Caught a glimpse of it in the hot spring over Long Watch Fall. Just watch lava. The whole area is crawling with them. Yeah, that's all I needed. Right. I already stopped by there. Let's stop in the L Inn. Ain't my jogging her memory. Hey.
Thanks again. I'll be gone just as soon as the weather clears.
Oh, you're waiting for the weather. Gotcha. Alright. Good on you. What do you think, Sandra? I think I'm getting better. Oh, good for you. Alright. What you got to cook, kid? Funny what a raid is for the appetite. Right, yeah. So what he says.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Let's see what refreshers you got. Old miser keeps the best stuff in cellar, so I hear.
Nothing like a pint to take the chill off.
Right. I'll take some of that speckle back. seeing if anything gonna jog her memory. See something gonna jog her memory loose. Hey, what's happening? What can I do for you, Ogre Slayer? Fancy roll of dice? No dice. Just got someone here trying to jog her memory loose. Came to Star Wars Village town 13 years ago looking for the killer. And looking for the one that got away. Down there by the fishery, yeah? You looking for that old drunk, huh? You looking for that guy down the fishery, ain't you? Why don't you just come down here on your own? I don't see why she has to wait. Yep, here we go.
Effigy's eyes! It looked at me! Ah!
What in the world? What? What the hell was that about? Look at these eyes. The one that got away, huh? The one that got away, huh? Let me see who said that. Damn it.
Perhaps.
Back to work, everyone. No time for dallying.
Who said that? Was that Aloth?
A fine thing you reached us when you did. They would have burned the fishery next, mark my words.
Right. Perhaps your hand a sturdy handshake.
And the last thing this lot needs is another excuse to knock off early.
He raises his voice at this last remark and glowers around the room. The other fish folk look studiously away and focus on mending nets, gutting fish, and sorting the day's catch. I can't imagine why they'd be in any hurry. Somebody's trying not to breathe. Sorry, it should have left you outside, buddy.
So anyway, excuse the mess. If there's something you need, the clerk can get you sorted.
Right. He raises a graying eyebrow at a man sorting various stocks and supplies near the back of the room.
Just watch your step if you have a mind to look around. The floors are slick and none too pleasant to fall
on. Got some questions about the quit fishery.
Been running it 4 decades now. I reckon I can tell you what you want to know.
Seems like a big operation.
It may stink of fish guts, but there's no place more critical to stalwart survival.
I'm sure you're right.
Herds come and go, so there's seasons when our catch sustains the village.
Okay, glance around the fishery, bustling with activity and warm with the heat of the cook fire.
But try telling these folk as much. We go home each day covered to the elbows in fish oil and entrails, reeking of our work.
Right? Aloth was charming.
Stalwart's shrinking, but it would disappear if we lost the fishers. I drive them hard, but I can't afford to do otherwise.
I hear your sister was once in charge here.
Arda was a saint. Lived to look after the village, she did. Fell through a weak spot in the lake ice.
His gaze grows distant and he scratches at his salt and pepper beard.
You'll pardon me, but it's not something I much care to dwell on.
I understand. What do you do here?
Just
Well,
about
obviously.
everything. I track the day's catches and see that our nets and hooks are in working order.
Okay. Crosses his arms over his broad chest, throwing his head
Grievous to
back.
thank for the many fine aromas of Stalwart. Without him, would no one find their way back here?
He glares at the Devil of Caroc, grits his teeth before turning back to you.
My family's been in charge of the fishery since the early days of Stalwart. I know the best spots to find frost dive or an iron-toothed pike, and I make sure we don't overfish the speckleback.
That's all I wanted to
Need
know.
anything else?
Nope. You take care. Hey, I wasn't expecting anyone to come by the fishery for a while. Guess that's the proper way to go about it. Really carry on like it's business as usual. Can I get you anything? Let me see what you got. Of course. Let me see some oil. Now, oil came in handy. Oh, good on camping supplies. I got one of those. Alright, thanks. Talk to what's the name, blah blah blah. So you took the mention out of her cave. Good on you. Thanks. Hey, show me what you got. Obviously, I sold him that one. Let's go talk to Tirsic. Stuff.
Welcome.
Hey,
Have a seat by the fire if the cold's gotten into your bones.
That's
Coming to
impressive.
your elders for advice, is it? What can I do for you?
right. Alright. Goodbye. Man. Bitch off me. Give that metal monster half a chance, he'll kill you in your sleep. I see ya. Puts my mind at ease knowing that Peregrine's clan isn't lurking nearby. If only Aldrich had your reason, that boy's full of nonsense. Let's go see. Tina. Oh.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
Alright, we'll start with her. Feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality, set of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in fitful sleep. Contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out for it, it seizes you violently. You're standing in a darkened feast hall. Sturdy tables and benches have been stacked against the door in the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you. Shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands.
Zenove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear agreement in the quiet murmurs of the others. But Arms Warden Marin orders you to hold your ground here. Yet in those rising whispers you hear the opening bars of mutiny. Oh. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew. You aren't about to start. So you heft your pickaxe and swing into the man's skull. He collapses and the others fall silent. Acrid oil and urine rises from his body.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is harsh. From hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. You cast your eyes down the flickering torchlight. Something thuds against the door. The others raise their weapons. Picks, shovels, and a few swords, but they don't dare flinch. Your own pulse pounds at your temple. Pull back from Taina's soul, but you feel Zenue's wrath and ferocity tugging at you still. Her essence thrashes, lasting out an unseen enemy. Zenove is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to old, threatening memories. Right, you consider that there may be others you could awaken. Yeah, I don't want to awaken her to that. Tane, however, seems unaware of the end as she blinks back at you, cloudy,
You got
flaccid
the
eyes.
look of someone with his teeth around a secret.
Her cold fingers are locked around your arms. Her black eyes search you. You better get your goddamn hands off me.
That's enough.
Pelagina places a feathered hand on the devil's shoulder, like a mother attempting to pull away an overly intrusive child. Taina, the old overseer of the mine, is the sole descendant of a hot-tempered woman named Zenove. As violent as Zenove's final memories were, waking her could be a risky proposition. There may be someone else in town I could awaken. Let's step out. Come over here.
Well?
Come over here. You
Right here.
and me. You lost your damn mind.
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look back there.
It's none of your
What do you
goddamn
find when
business.
you're rooting around like that?
Seem rather interested in these villagers all of a sudden. Why?
Mayhap I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmka.
Doesn't have anything to do with Coldmore, does it? Of course it does.
It sure does. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn. I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business.
Dark, iridescent whorls appear, fade on her chest plate. Heat ripples from her metal carapace. Sounds like there's more to it than this. This one's personal for you.
This man, Harmka. I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames the way I seen you stare into souls.
Okay.
I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Coldmorn. But I...
Twists her head from side to side, holds up a hand. Delicately engraved palm, empty, but grasping at something.
If I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I might could rest easy.
How can you be so sure about this Hark fella?
I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there.
Okay.
Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge.
Okay.
Point of pride for them.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Alright. I'm not gonna say it like this. I understand, you know. I do.
I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned.
Alright.
But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister.
Okay.
I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure. But you could look into his soul and find out. You being a watcher and all.
That's fair enough. Finding out might be getting your hopes up. How would you feel about a solid hunt instead? I'll do what I can.
Mighty fine of you. Mighty fine indeed. Don't know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know.
We'll find him. He's up at that lake. Alright. Yeah, I'll help you out. Yeah. If he did that, I'll help him out. I'll help you out. Yeah. Because that's wickedness. Alright. Well, we'll keep looking. Yeah, I'm willing to help you out on that. I think you could have been more discreet about the way you did it, though. It's not right the way that you went about it, and yeah, you know, you could have gotten the person you know, if I was talking to her, I would tell her, you know, you're a tracker. You could have found those persons one by one and gotten them when they're outside the house and gotten them. You don't have to burn down people, you know, innocent lives. Alright. Okay, well, let's keep looking. We'll go back to Renegil. Know who my hunch is on? Skip Renegil, she's not even a dwarf. My hunch is on the Innkeeper or Thirsk. Because they're both dwarves, I think. Well, it certainly is not Loudmouth. He's human all the way. Alright. Alright, buddy.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Okay, let me ask you. Well, do you know a man named Harms?
The woodcutter? Sure do. Head west from the village, then go north.
Right.
If you see the frozen stream, you've gone too far.
Head west from the village, go north. See the frozen stream, you've gone too far.
Usually works a stand of trees out in the russet wood, though he steps out from time to time.
Okay.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Don't worry. We're not looking to murder him or anything.
Oops. Come on, Heather. All right. You see a room, dark and damp, a cellar. Looks like part of the inn rather than an old fortress. Through Halfrick's eyes, you admire rows of gleaming bottles, recently dusted bottles. As you step back from the you look on with satisfaction at a pleasure plate concealed in the stone floor.
You all right? I won't serve you if you're already drunk, you know.
He's going to touch you. Okay, that's not him. Well, the one that got away. It's not like we're looking to go murder him. All right, so come on, Eddard, give me a break. You do have kind of a point, Eddard. While we're in here, I guess we'll read some of these guys. Okay, a handful of memories dart across your mind like a startled fish leaving indistinct images and sounds in their wake. For a moment, you're overwhelmed till one particular recollection tugs at your senses with a stubborn force. You or Andrew are both to kneel at a stone floor. Right. Okay, we've seen this before. Wait, Bethlehem. The whiff of salt and brine is in your nostrils before the room has even faded. The ground heaves beneath your feet and a spray of ocean waves roars over the railing of a ship that heels under the wind. The ship shudders violently, you're thrown against the railing. In that moment, you find your gaze pulled to the pitching surface of the dark sea and see there's an eye, broad as a shield, glancing back at you in turn. Fear and fascination sweep through your mind, even as your senses recede and memory fades. Wow, so obviously. I really don't think it's this guy in the basement. He's doing the same thing he probably did in his other life. Gambling. What can I do for you, Ogre Slayer? Fancy a roll of the dice? Nope. One moment your senses are overwhelmed. There are fumbling hands at your belt and your own low laughter in your ears. Your shoulders jammed up against the cabinet. It rattles every time Bethwyn leans down to kiss you. Ugh. It's sweet pleasure, but nothing in this has much to do with the battery. Ugh. No, I don't. Oh, what the hell?
And
You guys know this?
that's
What?
special.
What the hell? I must have been her detecting it. Yeah, we're not going over to look over there. What the hell? Well, her detection skills are better than mine, that's for sure.
Hello, sir. Anything I can do for you?
Oh, guess not. Who's back here? Yeah, that's where that guy was at. Oh, who's in here? Let me ask him.
Something I can do for you? Halfrick's got me straightening the rooms, but I'll help you if I can.
She's very nice. Read her soul. You feel Owen's essence and almost instantly find yourself wrapped in darkness. It takes you a moment to realize that you've plunged into a very old memory. But as your eyes adjust to the torchlight, you find yourself standing in a gloomy tunnel that you instinctively recognize as part of Durgan's battery. Handful of figures in patchy cloaks and hoods, dwarves like you, hunt over a mine cart. They're loading it with cloth-wrapped bundles from which you see the occasional flash of metal, the edge of a blade, or a burnished glow of plate. The other dwarves scurry with a curious mixture of haste and caution. They stack the bundles in a din of muted clangs and thumps, following the echoes of their ruckus down the tunnel with nervous eyes. Pay
attention. Sooner we get this done, sooner we can go.
Voices a dry whisper. Your nerves tingle with energy. You feel the same apprehension that others do, but unlike them, you relish it. Still, you look over your shoulder just in case.
We're hurrying, Captain Gregor. Honest.
When you turn back, the others have redoubled their efforts, and you feel a pleasurable twist in your gut as you fill the cart. Being captain of the guard doesn't pay much, but it does allow you to visit the armory without raising eyebrows. And with Coinmaster Zoltan selling off half of the battery's arsenal, who's going to notice a few more missing pieces? Besides, you've got a buyer lined up as long as you can move these goods out of the battery before someone squeals.
Sir? Excuse me, sir. You all right?
Oh. Owena, a maid at the Greek's Rest, shares her soul with a dwarf named Gregor. He's corrupt and deceitful, so awakening him could make things interesting for the shy maid. We'll see. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, I'm not gonna let him get away. If that's what he did, just because the Duke didn't catch him or didn't care. All right, let's go look for him. Working in a clearing. Oh, hello. him, Harmac. I remember that weak chin and those knobby knees. She stops, staring motionless at the figures among the trees. Best get a handle on her, Evilar. Just relax.
How goes?
The elven man emerges into the clearing, freezes, staring at the Devil of Caroc. For an elf, he's tall and rangy, with a weather-beaten face beneath stringy, greasy hair. Others with him turn, glaring, gaping at the bronze golem. You're caught, buddy.
Caroc's shadow. What's that wicked thing doing here?
Why are you so nervous?
It's a killer! Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work. We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
Enough! What do you see, Evilar? Is that the man who torched us? Devil sways on her feet, her whole body moving around the axes of her ankles. Though she's talking to you, her attention, a concentrated spear of essence, is focused.
Just
Who are
a
you?
woodcutter. Ask anyone in Stalwart. They'll tell you.
What are you yelling for? See what's written in the bastard, so relax. Harmac, do you remember the village of Cold Morn?
Everyone does. Let the Raid Sarens into the Deerwood. What's that got to do with anything?
Uh-oh. One answer, Evilar. If I don't stop his mewing, so help me, I'll rip him out of his head myself. Just relax. Steps away from you, but your awareness reaches through his trembling skin and the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories. Snow-shrouded forests partitioned by fallen pines and firs. Days measured by the steady swing of your axe. There are other moments too. Recollections that flare up like a heart's welcoming fire. There are children, spry and lanky like you, but still full of rowdy energy of youth. Together you gather winter blossoms, petals on a grave. Reach deeper into Harmac's soul. Years roll back. A torch in your left hand bathes your face and shoulder in heat. All around you are other men and women holding torches. In the mountain air is acrid, the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage spills off the others. It's been a fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in equal measure. You're at the edge of that town, Coldmorn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelights ignite behind frost-crusted windows. Haunted faces peer out as through the glass. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then a door slams. A villager comes racing through the street, kicking up snow. With his stark white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. The line of torchbearers ripples as he gets closer. He picks up speed, but nobody moves towards him. You imagine him breaking through the row, shattering your ranks like the bad dream of that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed. The heat from your torch, nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. Instead, the villagers reach the row of torchbearers a stone throw away from you. A woman advances from the line, buries her dagger in his neck. Rest of your fellows shout, rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all came with a purpose. You came to bring justice to the traitors of Coldmorn. Oh boy. The next few hours are painted in colors more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone who runs. It's as if Margaret herself is in your ear. Yeah, she is. And guides your hand. Exhaustion has almost cooled your rage when you spy a house at the edge of town. One of the only buildings that hasn't already burned. It's flanked by knotty spruce trees and doors painted yellow. Yellow. the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the color of cowardice. Just then someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man, someone you remember from the journey to Colmorn, though you can't recall his name. He snarls at you, mad with indiscriminate rage. It occurs to you that he's mistaking you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl the torch inside. The other man has turned away. You think you hear a child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell about the roar of the riot. Harmac shivers as he pulls away from his memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out, Evilar. What do you see? He burned down your house. Stares at Harmac. You only hear a whirring mechanism in her throat, but Harmac leans closer.
What did you say?
What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carry. What did they feel like? A wild and human echo clears out of the bizarre machinery of her throat. It drops Harmac and his companions to their knees, where they cry out in terror. Gears squeal and crank as she rushes at him. Oh boy. Well. Oh shit. Well. Screw it. Let's go. He burnt it down. He burnt it down. There's no doubt about that, man. Someone bumped you in the back, but you're still going to burn it down. Oh, wow. Wow. This is going to be crap. God. They don't even have a prayer. They won't have a prayer, man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here you go. It's not even gonna be a contest, man. These guys are not equipped to deal with me. Oh boy. Well.
Hi?
What color, Mrs. Pellegrino? What a surprise. Let's see here. Golly. the hammer dropped on him. It's not full down. Yeah.
I'm ready.
They got some holes in them already. Let's leave Harmac to her. I don't even know what that guy's doing. So lock him up. One that got away. Wall locked up. Furnace her off. Might as well finish her off, Durrance. I'll lock her up. Well, young lady,
Right here.
tell me what it feels like.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead as you approach, the ink black marbles of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls and throws of contemplation.
All that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
How do you feel now? She says nothing at first. You hear only the dull clicking of something in her chest.
I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands. Smelled their flesh as it burned. And I always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmka under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him.
And?
Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a patter of rain to me.
What do you mean?
This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmka's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull. All it did was remind me that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arms in front of her, examining the scroll work on the back of her hands with horror and wonder. You're right. That sounds awful.
I still dream on folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me.
Right.
Thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled.
Right. I can't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. It's horror.
But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me.
Sorry you had to go through that.
It's not pity I want, it's a choice.
Alright? She falls back.
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if it'd spare me this fate.
What happened exactly?
It was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies.
Right. Her head dips as she remembers.
When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long. Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No. They snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
Yeah, he was living there. So Galvino was living in Stalwart at the time.
True enough. This was before the locals gave him the boot. Still weren't a popular fellow, though. He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up, even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head.
Right.
By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot.
What did the mayor have to do with this?
He had agreed to hand me over to Galvino for an experiment.
Oh, shoot. I've had animasters come to me for the same thing.
Claimed it was a fair punishment, but the townfolk weren't too pleased at being denied their stone pitching.
Right.
Didn't help that they heard the jangle of copper in that deal. In the end, that's what sent Galvino and the old mayor packing.
See.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
Her black eyes are fixed on some indefinable point. Her essence dim.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine, just like me.
Oh,
A
Lord.
cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
This was the suit you inhabit now, you mean?
The one.
Her voice buzzes from her head, cold and distant.
I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look. But they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen.
Right. Her eyes flicker, rolling and scraping behind her face.
Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body.
Oh, God. Her limbs twitch and shudder. She pauses, waiting for her body to fall still.
By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
I heard the old man cackling and cantering. When I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes, I tried to scream. Tried to swing at him.
I think that was when I knew.
And that's how you ended up here.
Sure enough, and how Galvino ended up in that little shack. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the army Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Alright, that's a strange tale. We'll talk more another time. That was kind of a weird segue there. Why have you stuck around? We just dealt with this guy. Alright, well, we'll see what the fallout is. It can't be good. Well, you know what? Screw that. If they want to make a big stink about it, I'm going to tell them exactly what that guy did. Well, let's check our character. Oh boy, our reputation is probably falling here. Let's see, what's it like? Moderately good. We're a hero still. Okay. Aggressive, diplomatic, deceptive. There's still got to be some fallout. There's going to be some fallout. There's just no way. I looked into Harmac's soul, saw him towards the Devil of Caroc's house. I told her about it and we killed him. It was a little bit more, he got pushed, but he got pushed. He was going to burn it. He had already killed a bunch of people anyway. So, we're going to head back to town, then I'm going to end the episode. We'll see what the fallout. Alright, here we are. About that killer Stalwart? Are you mad? No. Put my mind at ease knowing that Berrigan's isn't hard and lurking nearby. Well, you guys are harboring a murderer yourselves. You guys are harboring several murderers. So, yeah, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I really don't. Berrigan's battery is haunted. That's why merchant caravans avoid it. No. Alright, so what are we doing? So, we're going to end the episode here. Doesn't look like anybody's come out with pitchforks. So I want to thank you for watching. I'm Erik Malkavian. And this has been Pillars of Eternity, the White March. I've helped the Devil of Caroc find some closure. Hold on a second. Let's go talk to her. Back away from everyone. Everyone in my party knows, but... Hey.
I'm right here.
Alright, let's talk. How do I talk to her?
I'm right here.
I'm sorry. Darn, I can't... How in the heck? I forgot I talked to her now. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Oh. Now that we dealt with Harmac, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
Okay. Says in an offhand teasing fashion, but she looks away from you fidgeting with a ribbon.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it. Even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart. Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
Alright. You're acting unusually coy. She's quiet, fixated on her squeaking joint.
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
Okay. Takes a list off on her clicking fingers, right?
Those villagers thought it'd fix up their broke down town. Until you gave them bigger worries.
Right.
Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of animansin. And all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
What were you hoping to find?
I don't know. Something to help me feel. Or forget. Effigy's eyes. Maybe just something new.
Okay.
I just figured, with those dwarves being expert smiths and all, maybe they had something to unmake me. Put me back into my body.
Again? No. Lord. What am I saying? Put you back in your body. Perhaps we'll find something yet.
Save your pretty words for someone who needs them. They were just a passing fancy.
She turns away, essence buzzing. Don't be so cynical. No. She don't got any trust left. Kind of like this guy didn't have any trust left. You should hear his story. Anyway, well, all you people know Durrance's story. If you've been watching me, I've walked with Durrance and I know his story of betrayal and wow, that would be hard. So maybe, personally, I just think she needs to, she needs to move on, she can't stay in that body. That's not the place for her, Alright, we'll see how it turns out. I want to thank you for watching. I'm Erik Malkavian, and this has been Pillars of Eternity. I'm here in the White March. I did a kind of good-bad thing. More good than bad, but it's still kind of bad. But it was good. Thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.